to Joy.
Yes, right. And your teacher, Gray, right?
Yes, that's correct. So, good morning, Joy. It's nice to meet you. How are you today?
Well, I have I have a heartburn because of the last night's work, and
Mm-hmm.
I really want to have something with like a soup right after this class. That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing, only one thing that I'm thinking right now.
All right. So, anyway, it's our first class together, Joy. So, before we continue, would you like to share any information about yourself?
Okay, well, I'm Joy, as you know, and I'm a university student, and my major is
Okay.
computer science, and I'm a junior because I took a year off from my school last year, so I'm 1 year later than my friends. And well, right now, and also I'm living alone, but recently I accepted one roommate. Actually, that's not person, but that's a rabbit. So I'm living with her in my sweet home. And right
I
now, this is my
see.
summer
Okay.
vacation. So I'm having a part-time job. I'm working in a bar, 3 days in a week, and I love my work. So I think this is enough as my introduction.
Okay, thank you for that information. Now, you mentioned that you're still a university student. So,
Yeah.
I'd like to ask, why are you studying English?
Well, my even though my university is located in Pohang, Korea, but our university use I mean in our university I have to use English so many times because of my classes and sometimes to study because my major books are all consist with English, so I have to read English and
Ah,
speak English and have a presentation sometimes. So it's necessary for me to understand the class
mhm.
too because the professor is using English. The first time
Okay.
that was the reason, but right now my plans a little bit changed. I mean, the reason is a little bit changed because I want to work
Mm-hmm.
abroad. So yeah, that's the second reason right now, and actually it's major reason.
Mm-hmm. So, you want to work abroad. In which country would you like to work at?
Usually, when someone asks me like that, I always say USA because of so many techniques are how can I say this? So many new techniques are um, starting from the place, but right now it's a little bit changed. So I want to work in Spain if it's possible because of the
Mm-hmm.
landscape and because of their culture. I love this. I love the country. So yeah, I want to work there if possible, and
I
that's why
see.
I want to study Spanish too.
Okay. All right. So, once again, thank you for those information, Joy. I'm looking at your profile right now, and I saw that your material or the material that you use for your classes is
IELTS.
IELTS speaking, and
Yes, right.
I'm thinking it's because you want to work abroad someday, right?
Yes, right.
hmm So I'd like to ask, how long have you been studying IELTS?
Maybe just 3 months, I guess, because of course I started that long time ago, but I took
Okay.
a long break in this site because of my busy semester. So yeah, totally maybe 3 to 4 months, I guess. Recently, I
Mm,
restarted my classes.
okay, that's great. So it's safe to assume then that you are familiar with rules or the time limits for each
Yeah.
part.
Yes, right.
Okay, I see, and that's great because you've studied for about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Most of my students before, when they're going to study IELTS with me, they would say, "I will take the IELTS test after 2 weeks,"
2 weeks.
and yes, and I'll be like,
Is it possible?
No. If the student is really good, it's possible. But most of them were really just starters in English. So I just give them a very quick
Yeah.
tour on IELTS, which is not really advisable for most students. But I appreciate. I think that you're doing a great job in preparing for your future. There you go. Now, I'm looking at your profile still. However, I can't seem to find which topic we are supposed to study today. So, what would you like us to do for now? Would you like us to have a practice test, maybe?
Yeah, practice test, and I already covered most of them, so you can choose anything.
Mm. Can I ask some of my own questions?
Yes, fine.
Aha. All right. So, do we start from part one to part three, or do we focus on just one part?
Anything will be fine, but part one to part three will be better.
Okay. All right. So let me just open up my questions here.
Okay. So you've been teaching IELTS for a long time, right?
Um, Not really for a long time. I've only had some classes with students who have studied IELTS before. Okay, because in the past year, I've taught mostly Chinese kids online
Okay.
in a different company.
I
So
see.
it's been quite some time as well since I've taught IELTS,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to thank you for bringing me back to this interesting world of IELTS.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so let's see here. Nope. Ah, okay. How about this one?
Let's see.
There you go. So part one, ready?
Yes, ready.
All right. So yeah, where do you live?
So no time limit.
No time limit. It's for part one, so it's
Okay.
okay.
Uh, right now I live in Pohang because of my university, but my hometown is actually Daegu. So when I don't have a semester or any plan in my summer vacation or winter vacation, I usually go back home, Daegu, and stay there for 1 to 2 months to have a great time with my family. Yeah, but right now I'm
Hmm.
living in Pohang.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah. All right. What kind of place is Puhang?
So I have to describe about it, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Well, Pohang is, let's see, hold on. Mm. Pohang is located nearby sea, and it's located in the I'm sorry, it's located in the north, north of the north of the south. I'm sorry, something is terrible with my. Hold on, please.
Hmm.
I'll try again. I'm sorry, it's
Okay.
all
Okay.
mixed up. My the city I'm living right now is Pohang, and it's located in southern part of Korea, and it's located nearby sea, so the city is actually famous raw fish. Many people visit our place to eat those delicious raw fish, and also it's so famous for the company which is called Postec, and Postec is the company which makes the stuffs with steel. So, but because of the raw fish and Postec, Poang is really famous among people. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Now, I'll just give you my feedback for each part after we
Okay.
finish parts two and three. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just try to. Ah, okay, it's possible. All right. There you go. For part two, I'll be giving you 1 minute to prepare before you
Yes.
can give your answer. Your answer, maybe you can have it for 2 to 4 minutes, depending on you. Okay.
Okay.
So if you can see it now.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 minute starts
ready. So,
There you go.
do I start?
So you can start.
Hmm. The beautiful place to visit in my country is my hometown, Daegu. I highly recommend you to visit the place. And it's located in the middle of Korea, and you can get there by plane or car or other translation as you anything you want. But I highly recommend you to uh, use your own car because actually that's the easy way to get there. I mean, you don't have to pay too much to get there by plane. I think it's kind of waste. It's not that far from any city. And the reason why I recommend you is there are too many things you can experience, especially in summer. The first thing is Chimek Festival. It's somehow Korean word, and that means chicken and beer festival. You can experience so many fun things with beer and chicken, and you can taste a lot of chicken, so you will like it. And the second thing is horror festival, and I heard it's somehow famous among Maniers. Manier? Yeah, so you will like it. The last thing is shopping. The prices are the prices are cheap compared to other cities. So many foreign people like uh, s- our city because they can experience. I mean, they can try lots of clothes with the same amount of money. If you can buy only one or two clothes in Seoul, then you can buy more than four clothes in Daegu. And there is a special, I mean, not special, but certain street which is called Dongseongro. You can where you can have shopping. I recommend you to visit that street too. So because of the three reasons, I highly recommend you to visit here. That's all.
Okay, very good. Let's see. So that'll be part two. For part three,
Yeah.
let's it's the same theme. Okay. So why do you think people like to travel to different places in their free time?
Okay. So time limit? No.
Yep.
Mm, well, the reason will be a little bit different for each person, but I think the major reason would be to be inspired by visiting the not familiar but beautiful place. They can be inspired. When I travel some new places which is surrounded by a beautiful landscape, I was inspired, and that makes me to more concentrate on my normal life because I can get filled by the landscape I traveled last time. So to be inspired to be the best reason to travel.
Okay. So how do you see tourism changing in your country in the future?
Well, you mean the how can I say this? You mean the Korean people to go outside or the foreign people for coming here?
For let's say for everyone, for Koreans
Everyone.
and foreign people.
Let's see. Hold on. Well, first of all, for foreigners, usually they come to Korea to experience something traditional thing, but right now I mean the trend is changing a little bit. So right now they are coming not because of the traditional thing, but they are coming most of in the most of case they are coming to Korea to experience K-pop or some some of our young generation's culture like dancing or music, things like that. So the trend would be a little bit changed, and entertainment business would be the major part of our tourism when it comes to the foreign visitors and for the people who go outside. Um, Usually, people tend to prefer to go to how can I say this, to go to some place which is nearby Korea, like China or Japan, because of their shortage, because of their limited time. But right now, because of the develop, development of transportations, we don't have to worry about the time because quite, it's shortened right now
Mm-hmm.
quite compared to last time. So people tend to visit the far place like France or Italia. So maybe the tourism will be changed to change the way to visit the far places. That's what I think.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Let's see. Last question, Joy.
Okay.
Mm, uh, is it better to keep old buildings or build new modern ones?
Pardon? I'm sorry.
Okay. Is it better to keep old buildings
Mm,
or build new modern buildings?
okay. In my own opinion, I think keep old thing is more important than build new one and it's because of memory memory. Yes, it's because of the memories for some people. um, when people when people I'm sorry, when people is get tired, they need some places um, to look back in their childhood. And to do that, most of people visit their hometown, and they remind and the hometown reminds them the beautiful childhood, so that makes feel relaxed. But right now, the modern things are take places of the old things, and people say I can't remind I can't remember my old things because they are all disappearing, and right now I don't know what to remember or what to have as my beautiful memory. So to keep the people's beautiful memory, I think keep old things are more important than just building up new things, building new things. Yeah, that's all.
That's okay. There you go. So first off, I like how spontaneous you are when answering, and also you know how do you say this, introduce and end your answers by giving phrases in the beginning and then concluding sentences in the end. All right, so
Yes.
that's a very good thing. Okay, now before I forget, yeah, in Korea, I think you guys are also known for keeping tradition.
Yeah.
So that's
Yes.
why there are still a lot of old buildings or traditional buildings in Korea. Okay,
That's
so
right.
for your answers, let's see. In part one, I kind of panicked in the first after you gave your answer in my first question because your answer was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because it answered the next four questions that I had in the list. So that is a very good,
I see.
yes, that's a very good thing because if, for example, I'm the examiner and I will prepare five questions and if in my first question you are able to answer two and three, I will only ask two more questions, right? So
Yes.
I think the way you delivered your answer was really good because there are a lot of information provided there, but it
Yes.
wasn't really that long too. So I really liked your answer there. I kind of panicked. What will I ask next? So that's what happened there.
Nice.
Hmm. Okay, now let's see here. Okay. Now you need to be careful with your answer too. Okay, because for this next question is what does what is Puhang like, right? So your
Like appearance,
mm,
I mean landscape.
yes, yes. Your answer was really good as well. However, for the first sentence, you started it with the city I'm living right now, or I'm living at right now, is Puhang. Now the thing there is that in the question, the name Puhang was already mentioned. So if you're going to introduce your answer with the first sentence, you don't need to say Puhang or the city that I'm living at right now, because you already mentioned it in the first answer, right? So you're studying in Puhang, that's why you're there. Okay, so apart from that, very good. Okay, now part two.
Yes.
You also you have very good experience when it comes to answering questions here for IELTS. Okay, because you seem to really know how to answer the questions really well. You just need to be careful with how you pronounce some words. So, okay.
Like
I'm not sure if you just mispronounced this or you just got confused with the word. You mentioned when you mentioned about the different transportation that you can use to go
translation.
to. Yes, and you know it
Transportation.
too. Very good. Okay, so instead of translation, it was supposed to be transportation, but you acknowledged it. You're aware. So, wow, very good. Okay, now I also like the way you use some of the words like I highly recommend you to use your own car. Okay, so you did not just answer how to get there, how to get to your country. You also just reminded or recommended a good way to, or the best way to get there, since it's in the middle of Korea, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, very good. Question. The third question, though, what there is to do in your country or in your hometown? Okay. Now the thing here is that I think after recommending the right transportation, you went to the last question as to why are you recommending this place. Okay. Now, in part two question of the IELTS, we need to answer all the four questions, right?
Yes,
Okay.
right.
But the good thing here is that even if I think you skipped question three, your answer for question four is still related to question three. You mentioned that there are a lot of festivals there, right? And the things that I would like if I attended this festival. Okay, so still overall very good. Now, part three, yes, always giving summary. Okay. Now, I think this one is for your the way you answered in general from parts one to three. Okay,
Yes.
I think this is probably the something that you need to work on for now. It's how you process your thoughts. Okay, what I mean here is that you can try to pause in between your sentences so
To
that it
pause.
will give you, yes, it will give you time to organize your sentences, because from parts one to part three, your answers were really on point. However, sometimes you stumble with a few words, you like repeat them. Like for example, where is that? You're going to go to this place. You're like that. So you somehow repeated some of the words. Okay. And in part one, two, which one was that? There was an answer. Where is your hometown located? And you asked to repeat your answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the actual test, you can't really do that. However, when you repeated your answer, it was really good. Okay. But at first, probably you were somewhat trying to organize first your thoughts. That's why you just said some words and you got confused with some of them. Okay. I'll try to look for that sentence in my comments here. All right. And I'll put it in your feedback box so that you can check it. It might be confusing you right now, but overall, I think you did really good. Okay.
Please give me
Yeah,
as
you're.
much corrections as possible,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to grammar.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially
Yes,
the
yes.
short.
I'll put it in your feedback box too. Okay.
Thank you.
If you have some questions, just leave a message, and I'll try to help you with that. Okay.
Yes,
I would love to talk with you more, Joy, but our time's already finished.
too
Okay.
fast.
Still have another class, but it was nice meeting you. Trust me, very good. You did a very good job in answering the questions today. I hope to see you again next time in another class. Have a nice day. Goodbye.